Thanks for joining me. This is Danny, and welcome back to my Real Tech series, episode number 41, in which we are going to be playing with the programmable drones from PneumaticCraft. These drones are extremely powerful and extremely configurable. They can do just about anything from breaking blocks, placing blocks, picking up items, attacking mobs, and you name it. They can do it. They can do just about anything. And what we're going to do in order to kind of learn how to use this system is we're going to set up a tree farm in here. So we're going to program it to cut down the trees, to pick up all the items that it drops, and then replant the trees down below, and then take all the items and put them where they need to go. There are a couple things that we're going to need in order to program drones. One of them is, of course, the programmer block. This is the block that we use to write the program. And the programs are written by basically putting these little puzzle pieces together into a sequence that tells the drone what to do. And it's actually pretty easy. You do not have to be a programmer in order to program drones. And then, of course, the other thing we're going to need is the drone itself. Both of these things are somewhat expensive. You do have to be fairly far along within PneumaticCraft in order to craft these things. And they are going to take quite a bit of resources. Now, the drone... what I just ended up doing is taking my harvesting drone and adding a printed circuit board to this. You can do this with a harvesting drone or a logistics drone. Otherwise, you would craft them just with the printed circuit board and then these turbine rotors, which are these turbine blades, and then these things made in your pressure chamber. If you had been with me for the last few episodes, or if you're familiar with PneumaticCraft in any way, none of that should be difficult for you to understand. So the programmer did take a few resources to make as well. This also required one of these printed circuit boards, 2 of these turbine rotors, and a bunch of plastic. Now, where things are going to get even more expensive is the puzzle pieces that we're going to need in order to make the program are also going to have a cost to them. So let's just take a quick peek at the programming pieces and how they work. So to program a drone, the first thing we'll do is we stick it in there, and then we can export a program to it that we write. But first of all, let's see how to write a program. So we have these various pieces that tell the drone to do various things. And we always start with the start piece. So this basically tells the drone, this is where you're going to start. And then we're going to connect other pieces to this thing, giving it a sequence of kind of a workflow that the drone is going to work with. One of the first things we're going to want to do is we're going to have the drone grab an axe from this barrel. I'm going to put an axe in there in a bit. And then we are going to have it come over here and chop down just the ironwood within this range. So we're going to be specifying a range that it's going to be working within. And then we're going to have it go through and pick up all the items. That's going to be its next step. So any fallen items that have fallen to the ground. And then as the final step, we're going to have it... drop its items into this barrel, and then I'm actually going to set up hoppers here in order to filter it into the places that we want it to go. So we will no longer need this absorption hopper here because the drone will be picking up all the items for us. So I completed a program actually in a different world. I did it in a creative world. I did a bunch of testing, and I made sure everything works the way I want it to. And then what I can do is I can actually import it here. So there is an import-export function in the drone programmer that allows you to actually import or export directly from Pastebin. So you can type a Pastebin link in here and then get it, or you can upload it to Pastebin and then it'll put the link in here for you. And you can also log in if you have an account on Pastebin. You can log in here as well. You can also just copy and paste to the clipboard. So if I had a program in here already, and I did, in my test world, I had a program in here, and then I went and I saved it to my clipboard, and then I pasted it into a text file. But now it's in my clipboard, so I can load from my clipboard. It says retrieve from the clipboard, and when we go in here, we will see my program. Hooray! So this is what a completed program looks like. It has all these different puzzle pieces, and they're in a particular sequence. And that's basically telling the drone what to do. So we always start with the start piece. And then the first thing I'm going to have it do is I'm going to have it import from inventory. So if we go over here, we can see this is the import from inventory. And basically what I did is I clicked this, I grabbed it, and I dragged it into that spot. And if you ever want to get rid of a puzzle piece, you can just drag it off and it'll disappear. So some puzzle pieces do require a location. Now, of course, we have to tell it what inventory we want. So that's what this thing is here. This is the area. If we pull that off, we will see that it's saying there's an error here. There's no area specified, so it doesn't know where the inventory is. So if we put that there, right-click on here, we can see that the area is provided by this point here. Now that I provided it with my GPS, so now you may... Oh, it's dark. It's very dark. It's a dark, dark night. Holy crap. You may remember in previous episodes we've been playing with this GPS tool. And what the GPS tool is, it allows us to basically save a location in the world, so like a set of coordinates. So you shift right-click on a block, basically, and it will save that coordinate, that location. And you can see it printed here what the coordinates are, and if we hover over it, we'll see also what the coordinates are in the world. We can use this in our programmer to set coordinates. So there's a couple different ways we can do this. If we if we just left click in here, it'll add this coordinate piece. Now this block actually requires an area piece, which I got in here. This is the area piece. So I just grabbed that and dragged it there. I right clicked on it and I said point A, and then when you click the GPS tool, it'll grab those coordinates. So it grabbed 937, 68, 936. Now I hit the escape key, it brings me back here, and if we hover over this, it's showing us those coordinates. And then the import from inventory also has some options too. We can right click on this and we can see that we can access from a specific side. So if we're dealing with like a furnace or some other sided inventory where we have to pull or push to a particular side, we can tell it which side. Use count, we're telling it only grab one. So don't take more than one thing out of this chest. I can fill this chest up with axes and it will only take one. But then what I can also do too is we could put a filter here. If we tell it, we only want you to grab this particular thing. We can put these item filters right there. So whenever you see these little things that's telling you the triangle thing is an area, the little jagged thing is an inventory filter. So when you put things on the right side, it's a whitelist. So we could tell this, hey, we only want you to grab a particular thing. So maybe we only want you to grab iron axes, nothing else. Now as it is, I'm not going to do this because I'm only going to have axes in this barrel, so it's the only thing it will be able to grab, and I might decide later that I want to put a Tinker's axe in there because it is compatible with Tinker's axes, or something else. If you put it on the left side, it becomes a blacklist. So now it'll grab anything from that chest except what's in that filter. Actually, we will be using that a little lower down. So the next step is actually a step called standby. What the standby step does is it basically has the drone go into a standby mode. So wherever it is, it's going to shut off its propellers and it's going to stop consuming air pressure until it can do this next step. So this next step is called dig area. This is basically the break block step. So this is going to tell it, I want you to dig out an area as specified by this area, the coordinates in this area. So there's two different ways that we can do this. We could use a single GPS tool if we don't want to spend a lot of resources and then just set each point. Or we can use a GPS area tool. So a GPS area tool, similar to the GPS tool, it actually saves 2 points, and it's actually crafted with 2 GPS tools. So it does get a little expensive because we got diamonds, we got plastic and all that. The way this guy works is you can click on 2 spots. So let's say we want them to break trees starting at this spot. So we can left click and that'll set one spot. And then we can right click to set the other spot. So what I would probably do is I would pillar up, except I don't have anything to pillar up with. And I would hit that top block up there somewhere. Now I've already set these coordinates, so I don't really need to do this right now, but just for demonstration, I'm going to show you that that's what happens when you do that. So then it's showing you that this whole area is covered by this GPS area tool. So then when we go into our programmer, we can then left click and it'll give us that area that's in this GPS area tool. And of course, it doesn't consume the area tool, so we can use this multiple times for different areas, which I did. So here we've got the area, and then I've got an item filter here too. I only want it to break ironwood. And with item filters, there are two ways that we can do this. If we have, let's say, oh crap. If we have an ironwood in our inventory, we can search inventory and we can click on that, and then it'll be in the filter. Or we can click on a barrel or whatever, but we want to break ironwood. You can also select whether or not to use metadata damage values. I actually have this turned off. When it was turned on, it wouldn't break them. For whatever reason, it wasn't matching on them, so there must be some different metadata in the blocks in the world than there are in the item. I don't know. But the other thing you can do is you can just search. If you don't have the item in your inventory, you can just look up ironwood or whatever it is that you want it to break and click on it, and then that'll bring up the filter as well. So first we grab the axe, then we go on standby until we can break blocks. So now what's going to happen with standby is if there's no blocks for it to break, if there's no ironwood within this area, it's just going to stay on standby until a tree grows. And then, so the next step is to pick up items. So the same thing here. I use this GPS area tool to specify an area. And actually, if we right click on this, we can have it show us the area. So you can see that this is the area that I set with the GPS area tool. Basically, I just left click on a block in this corner, and then I right click on a block in that corner. So now what it's going to do is it's going to pick up any items that are in this area. So like if a leaf drops, or if something drops over here, a sapling or an ironwood berry drops over here, it'll come over here and pick it up. And then we want it to place blocks. So that's our next step, is place blocks. Now here, we have a few different options. Oh, actually, there are some options with the dig area too. We can go closest, we can go low to high, high to low. So if you wanted to break all the top blocks and then work its way down, it would go high to low. Low to high would be down, up. Closest is the most efficient for a tree farm because then it'll just break an entire tree one at a time. For this one, it doesn't really matter what we do because it's only doing one platform or one plane. We can tell it to stop showing area. We can limit block interactions and say only pick up so many blocks. And we have an item filter here for ironwood saplings, because we wanted to place ironwood saplings within that area that we just saw was specified there. And then we have export to inventory. So the export to inventory is going to basically put things in a chest, and actually the chest is in a different location than it was in my test world, so I'm actually going to set this. So I'm going to shift right click on this chest. After it picks up all the items, I want it to put everything in this chest except for the axe. So I am going to set the area to this point, so 944, 69, 939. And then we have an item filter here on the left side, which again means a blacklist. So we're going to drop everything in this chest except what's in this item filter. I actually had the Tinker's hatchet in there. I may leave that. Drone doesn't really need tools to break blocks. It can break them without the tool. That would simplify things a little bit, but it would be slower. And that's it. That's the whole program. And then what it's going to do is it's just, when it's done here, it's going to go back to the beginning and start all over again. So I do have a charging station over here so that the drone, when it runs out of power or pressure, it will come over here and charge. Okay. I'm going to throw a bunch of stone axes in here. And I was looking for stone axes, so I have my item tracker is searching, or my item searcher is searching for stone axes right now. I can turn that off. Okay, and then I'm going to go in here and I'm going to change this filter to stone axes so that it doesn't drop the stone axes into that inventory. And we should be good to go. So now, oh, actually, okay. So now it's time for us to send this program to the drone. As we can see, we can't do it yet because we require some puzzle pieces. So this is where the expense of our programs really kind of takes off, because we now need all these required puzzle pieces that it's showing in red. So 5 green programming puzzles, 1 brown, 1 blue, 3 gray. They're all made pretty much the same way, and that is with a printed circuit board in the middle surrounded by 8 plastic, and that gets us 8 puzzle pieces. So we're going to need a lot of printed circuit boards and a lot of freaking plastic for this. So because we have to make 8 of each of these puzzle pieces because they're made in sets of 8. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sets of puzzle pieces, which means, oh my gosh, we're going to need 8 of these printed circuit boards, which you may remember from previous episodes are not cheap, and 64 buckets of plastic. Move the programmer in here just so that I could see everything I needed, and I made everything I needed, but just a little trick: when you pick up the programmer, it's not going to retain the program. So if you want to save that program, do go in here and make sure you save code to the clipboard, and then we can just pick this up and throw it, set it down where we want it. And then we can load from the clipboard, and it'll put that program back for us. So now I have this chest with all the puzzle pieces that we made. I had to make 8 of each of these puzzle pieces, even though we didn't need quite that many. We'll see that if we take these out, maybe throw them in there, that it will show us that we need that pink puzzle piece. However, it does find the orange piece in my inventory. So the puzzle pieces can be in your inventory, or they can be in an adjacent inventory. And now if we export the program, it's going to stick all those puzzle pieces. It's going to take them out of this chest, and it's going to stick them all in this drone. And now this drone is ready to go. Hooray! Okay, so I'm going to just set this guy down anywhere, and he should end up going to that chest. I'll actually put him right here just to make sure that this guy is in his range. And he should go right over to that chest, grab an axe, and start chopping down trees. Hooray! Look at that. In our helmet, we do have the drone debugging upgrade, so we can actually debug the drone if we wanted to. But we do need to turn on the entity tracker and have it track drones. So we can do @drone. If you remember from last time, if we hold on the F1 key, we can see all the different filters that we can put in there. If we do @drone, it'll do just the drones. Turn on the entity tracker. And then what we can do is press Y when we look at the drone. And it'll now be in debug mode. Routine stopped. Okay, yeah, I guess the routine is stopped because he's working on a single step of the routine. And now when we're, oh no, when we're in this mode, we can see it searching, like those little red areas, it's searching nearby for another block to break. But then if we go into our debugger, if we press the U key now, we will see what step he is currently on. And we can just click and drag to move that around. And we can see our program that we made in there, and we can see what step he's on right now. I forgot to upgrade this guy. I have a couple of upgrades that we need to put in here that I forgot to do. We're going to pick this guy up with our morphing tool. We can shift right click with our pneumatic wrench. And let's add some upgrades to this guy. So the drones have a few upgrades that we can add to them. One of them that I want to add is the dispenser upgrade. So the dispenser upgrade increases its storage. Right now he only has 1 stack of storage, which is why he wasn't doing anything else, because he couldn't pick anything else up. So I'm putting 3 dispenser upgrades in here that will give him 4 stacks of storage, so he can hold the axe, he can hold the ironwood, the iron berries, and the ironwood saplings. And then I'm also going to give him an item life upgrade, which in case he ever happens to take damage, like maybe he'll get stuck in a tree or something like that when a tree grows, this will replenish his life. We could also give him a magnet upgrade. We don't really need that because we have a program step that will have him go and pick all the items up, so we don't really need that. But you can also give them volume upgrades so that they have more, so that they can hold more air, which means they'll last longer between chargings. And Entity Tracker will actually give him a minigun and allow him to shoot mobs if you give him that directive. And there's also range upgrades. This will increase his attack range so that he can get enemies far away. We've got a speed upgrade so that it goes faster. It'll basically make it move faster. And that's it. That's all the upgrades that we're going to give it. I am going to put this axe back in there. Actually, I'm going to set him down there. And he should fly over there and pick up that axe again. And now he's just going to wait there on standby until another tree grows. Alright, we're ready to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bone meal some trees here so that we can watch him in action. So we should see that as soon as that tree grows, he goes over there to knock it down. Nice. And as long as there are blocks to break in that area, he'll continue on the block breaking step. Okay, now he's picking up items. Now he's planting. Awesome. Hooray! Although he keeps picking up new axes. So we ran into a problem where the drone keeps pulling axes out at each loop, and then he ends up filling up his inventory and not being able to continue. So the easy solution to this would be to just to add a step where he just drops off his axe in this barrel. But there's another solution that'll give us an opportunity to check out the conditionals. By default, the difficulty is set to easy so that we can only see like the basic puzzle pieces. There's also medium and advanced, which opens up a lot more stuff, including conditionals and some flow control. We're going to use a little bit of both here. So what I've added here is a conditional called items. So basically what conditionals do, they evaluate some statement to true or false, and then based on true, it's going to go in one place, and based on false, it's going to go in another place. So the drone condition items conditional will basically allow us to specify how many items the drone has. So we can say if the drone has greater than or equal to 1 item, then we're going to evaluate to true. If not, we're going to evaluate to false. So if it evaluates to true, then it's going to go to the label that's specified by this text piece on the right side. If it evaluates to false, it's going to go to the label specified by the left side. The way the text puzzle pieces work is you basically just right-click on them and you type in some text. And in this case, I've added 2 labels to our program. Labels are basically kind of places where your program can jump to. The first label is called, or it has the text value. So here again, we have to throw this text piece on it. It's called axe. And the second label is called harvest. So it's the same concept. We grab a text piece and we throw it there, and then we give it a label. So the axe label is basically just doing the import from inventory. And oh, actually that standby is not supposed to be there. It's just doing the import from inventory. And that's grabbing a stone axe from this barrel. But it's only doing that if this evaluates to false. So if we don't have greater than or equal to 1 item, so if the drone's inventory is empty, then it's going to go over here and it's going to grab an axe. If it evaluates to true, meaning there's at least something. Oh, and actually we're looking specifically, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention, the drone condition can also have an item filter on it. So we're actually counting specifically, we're counting axes. So we're checking, hey, do we have an axe? Do we have at least one axe? If not, then we're going to go over here to axe and grab an axe. If so, if we do have an axe, at least one axe, then we're going to go over to this conditional. And this is basically just the rest of the program. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw this standby in here too. So if we do have an axe, we're going to go over here and we're going to stand by and wait until we can do dig area. And then it's just going to do that same thing again. So now what's going to happen is every time this program ends, it's going to go back to this conditional. It's going to end, go back to this conditional. It's going to end. Our axe broke. We go back to this conditional. Then we're going to go over here. And then back to the beginning. Now we have an axe, so we're going to go over here. So that's how the conditionals work. I did have to make some more puzzle pieces. I had to make some cyan, light blue, and white. So I've been gone for a while getting those ready. And now we can add those to our program, and it should work perfectly now. Oh my god. It's going to take a long time. I think I'm going to help him, though, with my lumber axe, just so that we can kind of get to the next step and watch what he's going to do next. Okay, so now he's checking. All the blocks are broken, so now he's going to run around and start picking stuff up. At least as long as he can. Actually, let me turn my entity tracker. I just got attacked by some raiders, so I changed my filters. There we go. Harvest routine. Huh. Oh, okay. So the routine is called harvest. That was what I called it. Nice. So now he's planting because his inventory is probably full. He can't pick up any more stuff. But he'll pick it up in the next time around. Okay, so now he just checked to see if he can break any blocks. He couldn't, so now he's going to pick stuff up. He should end up going over to his inventory and dropping all this stuff off. So now he's on standby. Wish there was a way to see the durability on his axe. I checked for more. He didn't see any. So this works really nice. It's much more efficient than the setup I had before with the mine colonist. Okay, so his axe just broke. He came over here and grabbed another one. Nice. And now he's waiting for another tree to grow. That's perfect. Just to make sure, I'm going to make another tree grow. And the routine said axe when he went over there. That's cool. Okay, so he dropped everything off in there, and now he's going to break down this next tree because he still has an axe. Wow, he's going through those axes pretty quickly, though, so I'm definitely going to have to do something about that. I might end up actually just making an unbreakable axe. Now, we can teach him to craft as well. We're not going to do that because it's going to be way too complicated right now, and I'm kind of running out of time for this episode, but I do want to quickly run through some of these other puzzle pieces with you just so that we can kind of see some of the other things that we can do. There is a crafting item, and although we're not going to use this one today, the way this works is we add the item filters to it. Actually, let me close this. Yeah, this guy, item filters. So basically we kind of set up a crafting grid here. And we can specify whatever items we want him to craft, or whatever items we want him to use to craft. So now if it turns out that you don't need a full grid for your crafting recipe, you don't have to use 9 item filters. You can use just however many you need. If we wanted him to craft an axe, we would have to have multiple crafting recipes. What we would probably do is have him take the ironwood and turn that into planks, and then turn the planks into sticks, and so on and so forth. And also have this guy like right click on blocks. You can have him attack entities. I actually, in another series, I had actually set up these drones as kind of garrisons. They were covering an area and they were shooting at any mobs that would come nearby. They use the miniguns. If you give them the dispenser, I think it was the... No, if you give them the entity tracker upgrade, it gives them a minigun, and they'll take the same ammo as the minigun takes. You can also have them do the same thing that the logistics drones do. And the nice thing about this is then you can specify the area. There's actually logistics and there's harvesting. They'll act the same way as the logistics drones and the harvesting drones, except that you can specify the range, and you can have it do other things too, like picking up blocks. You can also have it jump to another label. You can have it go to a place. You can actually have them teleport too, although it does take quite a bit of air pressure. And these guys also work with fluid and RF. They have an RF buffer in them, which you can increase with the dispenser upgrade. Well, that takes care of programming drones, and this is probably going to be the last episode that we're going to be doing with PneumaticCraft for a little while. We're going to be moving on to some other mods for a bit. In the next episode, we are either going to be playing with... We're either going to start playing with cars. Oh, PneumaticCraft is done. Hooray! We're going to either be playing with cars and roads, or we're going to be doing some building. Maybe the rustic saloon. Or we're going to be checking out mine colonies again. We played mine colonies quite a bit early in the series. A lot of things have changed since then, and I may be showing you just a quick bunch of clips that I've taken over the past several, I guess, in between several of the last episodes regarding mine colonies and some new fun stuff that has happened with that mod. So I hope you join me for that. If you do have any questions or comments or whatever about PneumaticCraft or about drones, about anything, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. And of course, if you did enjoy this, don't forget to click the like button and to join me next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.